Blog Talk Radio.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's the new experience. Reality, spirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one, man. Reality, spirituality. You got a question for RLN? Reality, spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get some answers, baby. Reality, spirituality. Oh, now we getting real. Getting real. Reality, spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get down. Reality, spirituality. Yeah, you gonna feel good now. Real good. That's what I'm talking about. Time to get real.
Time to get some answers now. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Reality Spirituality. I'm your host, Rebecca Lynn Norrington, and thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being one of my favorite people in the audience, and you know who you are, which is all of you. You know, one of the things about being happy is you can't have any preferences. So what is this show about? Reality Spirituality. Who the hell am I? Well, let me explain to my new listeners. I'm getting tons of new people every week, new Twitter followers. I'm so feel so fortunate to have more people following the show. Reality Spirituality, this show is it's going to be on in August. Oh, my goodness. 3 years I've been doing Reality Spirituality, and what an evolution it has been. From the beginning of the show, not knowing how to put two words together. I remember I have to be on the show. I have to be live for a half hour. Oh my God, what am I going to say? And just to the point of feeling comfortable, regardless of what is said, regardless of my guests, regardless of anyone's listening, no one's listening. You know, one of the things I share with my listeners at the beginning of the show, I would always, you get a stat of how many people listen to the show. And sometimes there are one listener, sometimes maybe two. And, of course, they were all me and my family, or 3 or 4. It was really, the numbers were really low. And it bothered me, like, hey, why isn't anyone listening? And I've told this story before, and the universe set me straight. They told me very loudly that we're listening. See, our topics today is labels, attachments, and judgments. And quite frankly, for me, having any attachments to how many people are listening, whether or not it's, I have a lot of hits, don't have hits, followers, no followers. It's really not about that. It's not about that. At least for me, it's not about that. I am a self-proclaimed happiness specialist, and what that means is my happiness is my number one priority. Number one over anything else. Over money, over music, over health, over titles, over status, over friendship, over family, over children. Happiness. And what is this happiness? Define happiness. Well, my definition of happiness is, for me, being at peace with whatever happens and being at peace with whatever doesn't happen. Being content, being settled, being calm, flowing, relaxing, not resisting anything that happens, not resisting any moment, and not wanting any moment to be any different than what it is. That's a tough one. Not wanting any moment to be any different than what it is. And when I say happiness specialist, for me, it's something that I've wanted forever. I wanted this feeling. I wanted a feeling. I wanted to be happy. I mean, happy all the time? Where do I sign up? But what I found is, and what I discovered on this long journey, is that the happiness that I was looking for, this feeling that I was searching for, can only come from within, inside of me. In other words, there's nothing I'm going to do, there's nothing I'm going to experience that is going to aid in that feeling, that's going to make me feel happy. Now, yes, of course, I can experience a great moment. I could win the lotto. I can have a wonderful dinner with people that I love. Yes. But I'm talking about a happiness, a peace, a contentment that is always there. From the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep, and to the moment I go to sleep forever. Because quite frankly, I mean, what a beautiful, what a wonderful life. What a wonderful journey that would be. My favorite quote, my favorite all-time quote from Abraham is, "You cannot have a happy ending to an unhappy journey." And with that said, it is all about the moment-by-moment journey. Moments, every moment, and its link to this foundation, to this internal foundation. I call it a personal temperature gauge, if you will, setting a personal temperature gauge to contentment and peace, and knowing everything is in order, and knowing that everything that happens is for my betterment, regardless of what it, quote, looks like. Now, this show, Reality Spirituality, you can find Reality Spirituality actually has a face page, and so if you enjoy the show, please go to Reality Spirituality on Facebook and like it. And also you can follow me on Twitter at RL Norrington. RL Norrington, that's Norrington. And this show focuses on our everyday common life experiences, and actually dissects everything that happens down to its least common denominator to discover, number one, the truth. What is the truth? Why we aren't as happy as we could be, or can we have more happiness in our life? I say yes. And it's a growing, for me, being on this journey of happiness, being on this journey of seeking it and wanting it in every moment, is there are formulas. And we're going to talk about those formulas today, because labeling, judging, and attachments all subtract from happiness, every single one of them. And let me start with this attachment first, because I just discovered this week, it's called Reality Spirituality for a reason. I just discovered this week that I have an attachment. And guess what I'm attached to? It's really funny. I am attached, or was attached, because I'm done with it now. Because listen, as soon as I find something that subtracts from my happiness, I'm correcting it like ASAP. It's on my list of things to do, at the top of the list. So I discovered this week, and I kind of knew it. A while ago, but it was a bright spotlight on me this week. You ready? You're not going to believe this. Rebecca Lynn Norrington attached to an inanimate object, and she's a happiness specialist and no attachments. What? Drum roll, please. I am attached to a confidential trash bin. You heard me. A huge confidential trash bin. Yes, I'm attached to it, or I was attached to it. Now let me explain what I'm talking about. Woo-wee. Okay, here we go. I work in a law office, a huge law office with probably 700, 800 employees. And we have several floors. We're in a huge building, several floors. That's my day job, you know. That's my day job. That's what pays the mortgage. And and so because it is a law office, of course we have a lot of confidential papers, confidential documents, confidential exhibits. We have a lot of confidential documents. And when I have confidential documents, we have, okay, back up a little bit. We have two huge confidential trash bins. They're really not trash because you drop your documents into this bin and it's locked. And then every month the bins get picked up by a professional company and they get shredded. All of the documents get shredded, of course. So the bins are locked. They're bigger than a trash can, and they have rollers. They have rollers on them, so you can roll them around the floor in case you need, in case you're in one office or you're in another section on the floor. You don't have to go walking all around. Well, I use the confidential trash bins quite a lot. And there are a few people in my quote-unquote section that use them also. But, okay, this happiness formula, it can only have one person in it, and I've said that before. Anytime I have anyone else in my happiness formula, I can better believe sooner or later I'm not going to be as happy. So one of the things about this formula for happiness, it has to be only that person in the mirror. That person in the mirror has all the power, has all the control over your perspective, over how you're going to behave, over your words, over your attitude. That is the only thing that, over your own happiness, that person in the mirror has control over your happiness. I mean, is the only person that has control over how happy you're going to be. Okay, so with all that said, I purposely position this trash bin right in front of my desk. Well, it's actually not in front of the desk, but it's within a few feet. 5-6 feet of my desk, just in case I would like to use it. And we're going to go to our caller in just a minute. We have a few callers in the queue. So let me finish talking about this attachment. And so positioning this trash bin right across from my desk. And in the last couple of weeks, other people have wanted to use the trash bin. So instead of them walking over to my desk and using it, they come over around to the desk and roll this trash bin I put right in front of my desk so I wouldn't have to walk around. They roll it to whatever area that they want to use it. They roll it to their section of the floor. They roll it to their suite. And consequently, that's fine. I roll it all the way back. After they've used it, then I take it and roll it all the way back where it's closer to me. And I've been doing this for probably the last few months, and as soon as somebody uses the trash bin, as soon as somebody uses the confidential bin, I always the next day, I get up, roll it right back in front of my desk, because for me, that's where I want it. Attachments, right? So a couple of days ago, a supervisor came over and told me that they needed to use this confidential bin. And, of course, I'm, why can't you just come over and bring your stuff over to my wife? Anyway, so the supervisor not only took the bin that was in front of my desk, but took the other bin, because we have 2 on the floor, and took both of them to another floor because apparently the other floor really needed to dispose of a lot of confidential documents. And these bins are huge. So when the supervisor took the bin from in front of my desk, I'm thinking, oh, gosh, now I got to go get it again after it's used, how long it's going to take, on and obsessing over this freaking confidential trash bin. Obsessing, not obsessing, being attached to it. And so finally, when the supervisor brought the bin back in front of my desk, she actually looked at me and said, she says, I brought your boyfriend back. And I'm looking, what? She says, well, yeah, you're really, you really miss, if this trash bin isn't in front of your desk, it's like, I already know, I can feel that this is bothering you. And that just snapped me out of it right there. I mean, if I had thought about it, I would have, yes, admitted to being attached to a confidential trash bin and its position and where I wanted it placed on the floor. But for some reason, the universe didn't want me to experience that earlier. They want me to experience it through another person, showing me that it bothers me, or it did bother me, where this bin was placed. If it wasn't in front of my desk, I had to make sure I found it and put it right back where it belongs, quote unquote belongs. And so I wanted to share that because attachments can mean anything. Attachment to a book, attachment to a piece of jewelry, attachment to a car, attachment to a house, attachment to a person. And all attachment to an outcome, attachment to a goal, attachment to an outcome of how you want something to turn out. All attachments, every single one of them, subtracts from happiness, and that's my story. We have a few people in the queue. Let me go right to area code 832. Welcome. You are live on Reality Spirituality. What's your first name?
My first name is Stephen. I have something that I don't know exactly why is happening, but okay, I've been helping my friend. She's definitely been helping her find jobs in childcare. We had a lady that was going to bring over her 4-year-old and 1-year-old daughters this morning, and her 4-year-old got sick, and it seems like things seem to be happening when she tries to help. It's like things seem to be happening, and I don't understand, and it's like the night before the kids would come over, it's like I can't sleep or my mind's racing, and I don't know what's going on. And then the mother text me this morning saying that her daughter had gotten sick last night, and she was having issues.
Hello?
I'm here.
Okay, go ahead. I lost you just for a second. Keep going.
Yeah. So my question is what's going on? Because it's like, okay, like I've tried to set up trial visits for the families to bring their kids out, which is included in the rates, to see how the kids get along with the babysitter. Because Terry works with special needs children, and so we kind of want to make sure it works. So basically, I just kind of, I'm wondering why. I mean, did the lady decide to cancel this morning because she didn't want a babysitter, or was her daughter really sick? I mean,
okay, so you're asking whether or not you believe her or not. Is that the question?
Well, I believe her that her daughter was sick this morning because she said that she had been up since 3 a.m, and I had been up tossing and turning until 4, and I finally went to sleep. So I know I can pick up on people's energy. I just, I'm going to I don't know. I mean, it's like, you know, I'm only helping Terry get to get the job, and you know, and maybe, you know, supervise and make sure the kids understand what she's trying to say in sign language, because they don't understand sign language.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was, I guess it was frustrating and like, oh, bummer, you know, they canceled, and, you know, expecting them to come.
Okay. I have a few things, and I listened to you, and I could feel you also. I can really feel you. And I have a few things to say. Since I am a happiness specialist, one of the things that subtracts from happiness is, and you said your name is Stephen, right?
Yeah.
Is, and you know this, is having any kind of expectations.
Right. It's like I was expectant over it, and it kept me up all night.
Well, I'm going to see, yeah, your expectations kept you up all night?
That's what it felt like, yeah.
Yeah. Expectations really make, for me, I can only speak for myself, but expectations always make me feel bad. When I say bad, I'm using it in air quotes because I don't really like using labels. But they don't bring me any peace. Let me say that. Expectations don't bring me any kind of peace at all, ever.
Yeah,
what about,
if they don't fall through, then
well,
you're
not if they don't fall through. It's not even about falling through, anything happening or not happening. Say something happened exactly the way I wanted it to happen. It's still, in other words, I can't even want anything to happen anymore. In other words, it's really about living in the moment and just experiencing the moment without any kind of expectations, especially, Stephen, my dear Stephen, when we're talking about other people. And I'm going to throw this out. Let me see how this feels to you, okay? You ready?
Yeah.
You ready? Put your seatbelt on this one, okay?
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes I use other people I used to use other people to point and blame them for how I'm feeling. And it's never about anyone else. My feelings or my energy or my personal vibration is never about anyone else. It's always about me. I don't care what's going on. I don't care if my mother is screaming at me or somebody's screaming at me or somebody is, doing it. It's never about them. It's always about where am I? Where's my foundation? Where is my centeredness? Am I balanced? You feel that?
Yeah.
Do you do a lot of having other people in your head and reacting or feeling based on other people?
It seems really strange, kind of like I would have someone, kind of like in the, the X-Men movies where Professor Xavier in the beginning didn't know if he was having people in his head or being able to communicate with them, but he had other people's thoughts in his head. And that's what I keep feeling sometimes. I feel like, I might hear, my neighbor thinking and I think it's myself and can't get it out of my head.
Yeah, well, I'm going to say that everything that I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. You're talking about tuning into somebody else's thoughts, tuning into somebody else. Not only thoughts, but just tuning into somebody else, right? Relating or tuning into their energy, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, again, your feeling had nothing to, at least the one that you're talking about last night, I'm not feeling it anything to do with them. It has something to do with you and you having expectations. And then having attachments to your expectations.
Right. I mean, because it just seems like the girl just got sick, and that's all it was, my daughter got sick, and basically, because I do the business in helping Terry because she doesn't text very well, and so it's like I had to relay the message to her, hey, so and so is sick, and so it makes sense that this wasn't they're not mad at her or me, they're just, hey, somebody's sick, I'm notifying you as soon as possible.
Yeah, and then again, nothing. This is something else I want to throw out because I feel a lot of real seriousness energy from you. Like this is serious, or you feel it. It's like it's not light. It's serious. And I'm here to say there is nothing on this planet that's that serious. You said something about I'm here to help, but it was like it wasn't a light feeling of, I'm here to help, and I'm going to help as much as I can, and I'm going to do what I can, and that's that. It's over. Let it, it's there's lightness. I don't feel any lightness from you.
I have a tendency to hold on to things and make something that should be just it's light as a feather fluttering guts and be like, what I mean. I have high functioning autism, so I overanalyze things, and my mind ponders, and the 4-year-old, she's special needs, and she has high functioning autism, and the mother is wanting Terry to teach her sign language communication skills, and she's still in a diaper. So and that would have been a perfect match. I guess that's what upsets me is it's like I'm setting people up with each other. I'm like, okay, Terry is good with this type of skill, and therefore she can go and help Mandy's daughter to be able to learn how to communicate on another level. Because all Mandy's daughter Cecilia is doing is echolalia. There's no, she might repeat something, but at the same time, she'll throw a tantrum over, I just want a glass of milk.
You know what? I get you. I totally get you. You actually have your energy has shifted since you first made the call. But I totally get you. I totally do. And yeah, you're absolutely right. You are. Anytime you talk about someone else or have thoughts about someone else, unless you're right there in the room with them and you're experiencing them, no, you're not in the moment. You're in the moment. You're in the future. You're thinking that, and let me say that with as much love as possible. You're thinking that this match has to happen. It has to happen for child's benefit, Harry's benefit, and it really nothing is that. You follow me?
End.
What?
Yeah. I said, or like the world's going to end, basically.
Yeah, you're too serious, honey. You're too serious about everything. And let me say this, you don't have that much power. In other words, you don't have that much power when it comes to other people. Your power is right there in the mirror.
Yeah, she texts me.
Hey, wait. No. I'm not going to listen to any more information about other people. I gave you hints. Okay. Now let's talk about you. See, the more you talk about them and the texts and this to happen and that happened, and it's like a distraction. It's kind of like let me throw this out. It's not a distraction. Let me really throw this out. This is really put a seatbelt on again because you know I love you, right?
Right.
You know that?
Yeah.
Okay. It's about an addiction. An addiction to talking about focusing on others when it's really, really about that wonderful person right there in the mirror. And you said something earlier about you overanalyze and you overthink and all that kind of stuff. Let's say this. Let's just be aware. See, this is what's so wonderful about you. Let's just be aware that that's what you do. Let's just be aware of it. Without labeling it, there's anything wrong with it. But now we're aware of it, and you already are aware of it because one of your gifts is self-aware. And so let's just be aware of it now. And now that when you are, okay, you're still thinking about this, other people, whoever it is, then let's just start practicing shifting your attention to you. Just practice it, because it's not going to. This new skill that you're going to be developing is not going to happen overnight, because you've been doing this a long time, right?
Mhm.
Do you want anything different?
What do you mean by that?
Do you want? Thank you. Do you want to feel differently? Yeah,
I do.
Okay. So it's just like anything else, you know, if you were a musician and if you wanted to play the flute, then you're going to have to start practicing the flute. And if you want to write, then you're going to have to start writing. And it's all this life is about doing is practicing these skills, practicing new skills. So now you're going to be practicing how to focus on something else other than other people. And just ask the universe, so you know what, universe, I intend, just give the universe your intention. I intend to focus on myself. I intend to focus on the guy in the mirror. I intend to lighten my expectations. I intend to be lighter. I intend, not to take anything so serious. I intend to, and throw it all out. And then ask for help from the universe. But have the intention. I intend to feel different. I intend to be lighter. What do you think?
Yeah, that I think that would be helpful to me.
I know it would be helpful for you. But it's all about being perfectly okay and accepting where you are right now, and then just asking. This is what I ask the universe for every single day. I say, how does it get better than this? And I don't have a distinction of what that means, better. But how does it get better than this? I always ask that question. And then I ask, what else is possible? So that's it. How does it get better, and what else is possible? Oh, I also ask them, I also say, bring me closer to the universe. In other words, bring me closer to a physical person that loves unconditionally, accepts, no judgments, no expectations, no attachments, and all that other kind of shit. Right?
Mm.
Yeah. You're way too serious. You're heavy. Your energy is heavy.
That's what my parents tell me. My parents always know that there's a seriousness about me, and just kind of like there's, I've gotten better with the years, but one of the things about my autism, it's like almost like I have to know everything that's going to happen, or I have to be, I have to be in control or whatever, and when I was dating my ex-girlfriend, Kelly, when I was up in Dallas, I was a student at A&M, Texas A&M Galveston. Being an Aggie, it really changed me, and it really forced me to open up more. I didn't understand why God threw Kelly into my life, because she's not there anymore. She was only there for about 6 months, but I really felt like she basically chewed me up and spit me out in 6 months. like literally trying to rearrange me. I mean, if I was a living room and you know, and I was furniture and she didn't like the way it was arranged, or, you know, the way that I handled things or I did things or how I responded or whatever, and you know, I felt like there were times that she would just absolutely say, oh, no, you don't need to do this, or, you know, if you make plans to do something, then you need to stick to your plans. And so
well, what a great story.
Yeah.
And let me say this. The reason why, only because this is what I believe, and this is, and again, my dear Stephen, you, she was in your life for a great reason. Everybody's in your life for a great reason. This phone call is for a great reason. And it's interesting because you were with somebody, and you knew this from the very beginning. You see how we always talk about it's that person in the mirror? You knew this from the very beginning, that she didn't accept you. People that try to change other people that try to tell somebody, oh, you're doing it wrong, or you need to do it like this, or you should think like this, or all that other kind of crap. And let me tell you something. I used to be one of those people. I could find something wrong with everybody. Are you kidding me? And the thing is, people want to control other people. And when you and not only not accepting and controlling, but what that means is that dear woman wasn't accepting of herself. It always comes back to the person in the mirror. When I tried to get somebody to do what I wanted them to do, or see my way, or change, trying to change somebody, oh my goodness, I can't even tell you how many years I spent trying to change people. And it's only because I wasn't accepting myself. So the reason why you were together was another reason for you to look in the mirror. It's not about her. Why were you with somebody that didn't accept you?
Yeah, that's what I don't understand, because, you know, I'm no longer a student at A&M. I was suspended because of my grades, and I think that she brought my grades down because she got me to focus on her more than my schoolwork. No. You are a good blamer. No, she didn't do anything. You did it. You can blame her, just like you can blame the woman that you called, earlier with the child. No, you're a blamer. No, don't blame. It's no one can make you do anything. No blaming, my dear. No blaming. You can't blame anyone for anything, your feelings, or what you do. That's what, you look around, everybody blames everybody else. Oh, you made me angry. Oh, you made me sad. Oh, you're responsible for my grades. You're responsible, I focused on you because of you. No. You can't blame anybody. Blaming people for anything subtracts from your happiness. You want to be happy? Mm-hmm.
You can't blame anybody for anything. What do you think? Am I right or am I right?
Yeah, I think I just need to, not worry so much about, why people do things, because it's not really, I shouldn't have to care whether, why someone cancels today or tomorrow, because some will, some won't. I mean, who's next, basically, in mentality,
Perfect. You're absolutely right. In other words, number one, you can't take anything personally. Number two, it's not serious. Number three, the universe has all of this stuff in order. Don't think that, if it doesn't work, let me say something. I cannot make anything happen. I cannot stop anything from happening. I cannot speed anything up from happening. I cannot slow it down. I'm in the back seat. The only thing I can do, the only thing I have control over is how I'm going to feel about what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Expectations, attachments, blaming, serious. You need to relax. Let's start having some fun. What do you do for laughs? What's the last time you laughed so much you peed on yourself? When's the last time that happened? What?
Well, not really. I didn't really pee on myself, but I was listening to Howard Stern last night, and I was cracked up over a prank call.
Yeah, come on now. Come on. You got to do more. You got to do more of that kind of stuff. You got to do more of that. That Howard Stern, I actually used to be a really big fan. He's hysterical. Yeah.
I mean, he's got this crazy old lady called Blue Iris on there, and she's just bad. She calls this African American woman and starts asking her, like sexual connotation questions and everything, and she's like, I'll fuck you with a shotgun, how would you like me to take my 22 and all this? I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, listen. You feel how you feel right now. Can you feel how you feel? Light.
Yeah.
You're already lighter. Hey, let me. Have you heard of Phil Hendry? Phil Hendry.
No.
Okay, you have to look this guy up, because if you like Howard Stern and people calling up and being bad and that kind of stuff, you are going to go crazy over Phil Hendry. His name is Phil, and his last name is spelled Hendrie. Phil Hendry. And this is what he does. You ready? Did you write it down?
Yeah. I'm going to type it up.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, I'm getting chills. I'm telling you right now that this guy will make you pee in your pants. And let me tell you what it is. He does a lot of different voices, and he used to have his own radio show. He used to be on FM radio. I think he's on air now. But he used to have his own radio show, and he's got probably 20 voices. 20 voices, okay, that he uses. He does a little guy, he does a black woman, he does a little child, he does a doctor, all these kind of voices, and they're all distinct. And people that call into his radio show, listen, people that call in don't know that it's a joke, don't know that he's making up these voices. And they call in, they're really irate and they're angry at whatever he's saying. I'm telling you right now, you're going to love his show. You're going to love him.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to let you go. I've got to run.
Okay, run, and I thank you so much for calling.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, bye. What a great call. Jeez. Let me see, what is this? Do I have another caller here? I have another caller. Okay, I have a few callers, but some people don't want to go on live on the air with me. Oh, hold on a second. Here's a call. You are live on Reality Spirituality, area code 646. Who am I speaking with?
This is Tony. How you doing today?
Hi, Tony. Good. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
What's your question?
My question is, I had applied for a job in Virginia, and I was just wondering what the prospects of that would be, as well as I applied for something in New York, and I had just interviewed for that yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the last part of my question was, those two areas were in like technology, and I was also wondering if, based off of how those would look, should I end up going into education? I got like 3 classes I have to complete for special education, the opportunity to teach special education classes in the fall, so I'm like, go that route. So that's my question.
Okay. So you have a question. Your question is basically making a decision on which path to take?
Yes.
Now I have a question for you, because I really don't make decisions about people's past, but what I can do is help you get more clarity, okay?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
When's the last time you used your intuition, or do you use it?
I think I use it often just for different things. So, like, I guess when I write, I do use intuition. So that's, something where I would use it often. But I guess using it for, different other situations, it's I guess it's a bit more challenging, just because I'm usually kind of waiting for other factors to I guess kick in. So it's
okay. So if I'm understanding you and if I'm feeling what you're saying is that you use this skill, this intuition, which is one of our senses, when you are creating, right? When you're creating something, you said writing, when you're creating, but in your everyday life, in your moment by moment, you don't really use it. It's like if you're, driving on the street or go right, go left, or you're just feeling things, you don't use it in your day-to-day life. Is that what you're saying?
I would say that I use it in my day-to-day life, but not for the majority of like the career things. Like, if I'm in the moment and I'll feel certain things and I'll feel it, as opposed to logically be able to break it down to you, but I'll be able to feel certain things, so I kind of go with it. But if it's something where like the idea is in my head and I have to kind of like plot it out, like.
So you're talking about something like this. You're more analytical. You're more thinking it out. You're thinking it out, and you're using your intellect as opposed to your intuition. Correct?
Exactly. And
okay. So what I have to say is that, and it's so interesting that you're saying this, because I used to be just like this, just like what you're describing, because quite frankly, I was born in a household, raised that, you think your things through, you think it through, you write a list, good, bad, you actually analyze every single thing. And what I have gotten away from is analyzing anything. Because, quite frankly, your intuition is more powerful than your intellect. And it's just like any other skill or any other. Say if you want, if you're an athlete or you're a musician or you are, a doctor, you have to practice this. And so, what I'm feeling from you is, and the universe is saying that use your intuition for all of it. And now we're getting to another part with trusting, because you don't trust your intuition with certain things. You trust more your analytical, your intellect. You think that's better. But what that does is it leaves you stuck. I mean, you're stuck. When I say stuck, is stuck in trying to make a decision, right?
Right.
Am I making any kind of sense?
Oh, yes, you're making a lot of sense. Correct.
Okay. So it's really about trust for you. And the other thing, which is really, really big, is about surrendering, letting go of any future. Letting go of future, what's going to happen if I go right, and then what about going left, and what if I turn right and I go turn? All that crap will go away when you really start trusting and relying. I mean, in your past, has everything worked out? I mean, maybe it didn't look like it worked out, but has everything worked out, looking back in your life? And maybe you didn't understand it at the time it happened, but you get it now? Do you feel that or no?
I'm getting to the point where where I can kind of see how things are falling into place. And sometimes I do intellectually, wonder if, I guess my challenge is that I can see how things can fall into place. They haven't actually taken particular shape that I might have wanted to take, but I can still sense them falling into place. But because of the fact that I'm in a position now where I'm trying to
First of all, you're trying too hard. Number one,
right.
Trying too hard. And I'm just getting chills listening to you, because one of the things about you are right. You're right there. You're right. You are so close. I mean, you're close. When I say close, you're moving in a certain direction. You're moving in. I mean, I'm getting chills. You're moving in a direction where the universe, and forget about what it looks like. Forget about the career. Forget about the job. Forget about that just for a second. Let's forget about that. But the universe really wants you to start trusting and surrendering, trusting and letting go, trusting and letting go, trusting and letting go, and not worrying about and not even thinking about what's going to manifest. And I'll tell you why everything happens. I don't know if you're a new listener to the show or not, but let me share something really quick. I was disinherited in 2005. Do you know that? My mother disinherited me in 2005. I don't know about you, honey, but getting disinherited was a real shock it was a real kick in the ass. I mean, disinherited? Are you kidding me? My father was in a state where he wasn't able to, mentally he wasn't able to make any kind of decisions. And I'm not blaming her, because actually, quite frankly, she didn't disinherit me. The universe disinherited me. And I could not find the good in that for a year, for maybe more than a year. I mean, there's nothing good about that. Hell no. And especially the kind of daughter I was. I mean, listen, again, she had a great reason. It was her perspective, but I could not find anything good about that. But this is the answer. This is the answer to the question why. Why did it happen? And this is for me and also for you and for anybody else that's listening. Everything that happens in every moment is for our betterment, is for our evolution, is for our growth. Me getting disinherited actually was a good thing. I could sit up here and tell you 100 things why it was so good. We have a relationship now. It's unbelievable. I mean, I talk to her all the time, and I'm still disinherited. And so I'm saying to you is the universe really wants you to get that everything that happens or everything that will happen is for your betterment, is for your evolution, and for your growth. And so your job is to, you know how we sit in, a Bentley, let's say a Bentley, a nice Bentley. What's your favorite color? Rolls Royce.
Say it again.
What do you like? You want a Bentley or you want a Rolls Royce? What do you want?
I'll take a Bentley.
Okay, good. What color?
Black.
Oh, me too. All my cars are black. I love black. Okay. So you're in the back seat of your Bentley, right? And the universe is driving. The universe's chauffeur is your chauffeur. You're in the back seat. All you have to do is flow with all of it. You don't have to think. You don't have to figure it out. You sit back and you relax, and you know what? And I said this to the earlier caller, and you ask these questions. You ask this question every day. You could write this down. Say, universe, what else is possible? What else is possible? I don't care what it is. I won't know what it is, but what else is possible? And then the other question I ask every day is, how does it get better than this? And with this decision that you have to make, I want you to sit back in your Bentley, feet up, Because, you know, the universe is driving. You let go of that steering wheel. You give the universe total control. You trust. It's like jumping off a hill, and you're trusting that you're going to get caught. You surrender, and you start relaxing. You know, I don't know what's going to happen, but I know it's all going to be good for me. I don't have to figure it out, and guess what? I guarantee you things will just start. You'll start feeling. Does this feel like a fit, or does this feel like a not fit? You know what a shoe feels if it's too small. Does it feel like a fit? Not think about it, but does it feel like it?
Okay.
I talked a lot, didn't I?
No, I mean, it definitely made sense, so I appreciate you sharing that.
So you, my dear Tony, I want you to be more of a feeler. And I'm not talking about, you know, sentimental crap. I'm talking about feeling, because the universe, I'm telling you right now, is working with you, and they want you to start feeling. That's why I asked you earlier, do you use your intuition?
Yeah, like I said, you know, I would think that I use it, but I guess in times when you know, the mental aspect of survival starts to creep in, you kind of like sometimes capitulate my, you know, I sometimes capitulate my intuition to the, you know, that survival mode.
That's because it's been a habit. That's because it's just been a habit, and that's what you're used to doing. But we're developing a new habit today. We're developing a new skill and a new habit today. And as much as you want to, because quite frankly, your intuition and your feeling is going to be more powerful than anything, including your intellect. Your intuition is what's going to create. It creates worlds. Your feeling is going to create worlds. Your energy, your vibration creates worlds. You're really gonna take off with this, and all it is a practice. It's not gonna happen overnight. But now that you know, are you going to be able to let go and trust and surrender and sit back in that Bentley and just feel yourself through your life?
Yeah, you know what it feels like. I mean, like, because I've had this metaphor for myself before. It feels like you kind of like jumping into open space, and like every time you jump, there's a rock that appears to slow you down or basically catch you. So it's just a matter of like living like you said earlier, you grow up in a household or you grow up in a society where you're taught to like plan and have all these different steps versus kind of like jumping into the unknown abyss and like just trusting that every time you jump there will be something to catch your fall. And and I guess I'm like the person who I can take the first couple of jumps, but then like after a while you feel like you're just like out there and you're like, wait a minute, am I just like crazy, or do I still continuously jump even though I really have no idea how the whole thing is gonna
Yeah. Oh, I'm getting chills again. Yeah, that's it. You're gonna start jumping. You're gonna start jumping blindfold. That's really. Let me just share some. First of all, this call is so important, not only for you but so many people. I mean, I used to be just like what you're saying. And let me tell you something. I know everybody, I make a goal. I have goals. I don't have any more freaking goals anymore. You know what I do, Tony? I don't have any more goals. Because every goal that I had was always screwed up by the universe. And the universe is looking at me and said, yeah, you can make your goals. You can make your plans. Go ahead. And they're up there laughing. Right?
Right.
I don't make any goals. I don't do anything. In other words, this is my new thing. This is my new. It's been about a year now. There's nothing I should do. There's only what I'm inspired to do.
I like that.
Yeah, and this word should, I don't even use that in my vocabulary anymore. It's like a word I don't use. I don't use that word should. And I can feel you, too. You use that word a lot. And no more shoulding. No more shoulding on yourself, my dear Tony.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. No more shoulding. Yeah, so you're actually at a point where you're going to really, like I said, it doesn't happen overnight. You're going to feel a little shaky. You're going to feel a little nervous. You're going to feel a little, I got to hold on. Give me that steering wheel, universe. Give me that steering wheel back. And that's going to be all okay, but I'm telling you where you're going to be headed. You're going to be jumping off the cliff, eyes closed, not even caring where you're jumping.
Wow.
Are you with me?
I'm with you. That sounds like an amazing life.
Yeah. And listen to this. This is what happens. When you really get to a place where you trust and you surrender, you start feeling lighter. The world is lighter. Everything is just easy breezy flow. I mean, fish don't struggle to swim. Birds don't struggle to fly. So we're actually struggling trying to figure this shit out. Excuse my language, but I use it. We're actually struggling trying to figure this stuff out. It's a struggle, and you don't have to. The universe wants you to let go of some of those suitcases and just start trusting and feeling and knowing wherever you land, and really doing more feeling. And again, just ask for help. Universe, help me out with this. Hey, Uni, give me some help with this. I'm a little, sometimes I want to step out there on the ledge and jump, but, help me out. Can you help a brother out?
Gotcha.
Yeah. What a great call.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that with me.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, Tony, for being such a wonderful part of the show. I mean, I loved your call. And listen every Saturday and Sunday to Reality Spirituality.
I definitely will do. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Wow, what a great call, everyone. I mean, see, this show is about everyday life and everyday issues and everyday questions. And again, who am I? A self-proclaimed happiness specialist. And when you make that a priority, and quite frankly, when you allow the universe to be your number one relationship, your number one go-to, your number one driver, your number one chauffeur, everything else just starts falling into place. Trust me, I lived most of my life the other way. Yes. So tomorrow we have a great guest. We have a musician and an artist, and his name is Paul Luffenager. Paul Luffenager, he's a musician, artist, and he's going to be starting touring, concert tours, and he calls all of his concert tours Diamond Light. And this gentleman's purpose and destiny is sharing kindness throughout the world and being kinder to people. Now, you know what? It always starts with that person in the mirror. It always starts with that face in the mirror. All of your power, all of your answers, all of your solutions, all of your problems all begin and end with that person in the mirror. But that's the good news. You have the power to change anything you are not comfortable with. Now, I'm not talking about jobs. I'm not talking about experience. I'm not talking about boyfriend. I'm talking about changing how you perceive, changing your personal vibration, changing your energy, changing how you feel. And again, happiness is, for me, I define it as being at peace with whatever happens and being at peace with whatever doesn't happen. Because quite frankly, I don't have control over what's going on in this world. I've already given it up. I've given up. I don't have control, but I do have control over my perceptions, over my decisions. In other words, I can perceive a moment any way I like. Or I can also perceive it the way the universe perceives it, which is everything is in order. Everything that's happening is for my greater good, my betterment. Everything that's happening is going to be a lesson for me to grow from. Everything, and then let's start having some fun. Remember, my favorite quote from Abraham is, "You cannot have a happy ending to an unhappy journey." My website is RebeccaNorrington.com, RebeccaNorrington. My latest book, woohoo, Reality Spirituality, The Truth About Happiness, is out now. It's $19.95, free shipping in the USA. And you can go to my website at RebeccaNorrington.com and order the book. Free monthly newsletter. Well, Jesus, I'm like 3 months overdue for my new newsletter. And Tony, since you're listening, yeah, that's something I should do, but I just haven't been inspired to complete a newsletter this month. I mean, when I'm not inspired, I'm not inspired. No guilt here. Go to Reality Spirituality on Facebook and like the Facebook page. Follow me on Twitter at RL Norrington. And remember, until tomorrow, I want you to remember who you are. You are a physical extension of the universe. You're always growing. You're always changing. Love is patient, and love is kind. Be patient and be kind to yourself. Be your own best friend. Remember, you can't have a happy ending to an unhappy journey. We're going to connect again tomorrow with my guest, Paul Luffenegger. Talk to you all tomorrow. You've been listening to Reality Spirituality.
Yeah. Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's a new experience. Reality Spirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one now. Reality Spirituality. You got a question for RLN? Reality Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get some answers, baby. Reality Spirituality. Oh, now we get real. Reality Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get down. Reality Spirituality. Yeah, you gonna feel good now. Real good. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Time to get real.